Hi, this is Amy Coon. I'm here in the Your Paper Life studios, and I have with me someone very special, Miss Wendy Smedley. I know a lot of you in the paper crafting industry recognize her, but in case you don't, you've brought some things so that we can kind of tell everybody who you are.
Yes.
Starting off, this is how I met Wendy and know about her, and that is your organized and inspired scrapbook. Totally love this book.
I had an opportunity to work with a professional organizer, and we did this together, and the whole idea behind it is to really understand how you work and make it your space work for you, as opposed to do what everybody else is doing. So.
Exactly. And this helped me so much. When I first started scrapbooking, I picked this up, and it just really helped me get it, because there's a lot of stuff in our hobby. It's good to get a good organization going. And, and then you haven't stopped. You've also put out Start Scrapbooking.
And this is really a book really geared towards beginners or people interested in kind of delving into the hobby, or maybe people who have, you know, kind of given up, they've become too overwhelmed, and this is, you know, kind of to reignite the excitement and the fire and help people understand, you know, why they scrapbook, because that's something, you know, everybody really does it for different reasons, and sometimes you think, oh, you know, if I start this hobby, then this means, you know, I'm committed for the rest of my life to, you know, printing and organizing photos, and I'm going to have scrapbooks throughout my whole house. But really, you can do some fun projects, and you can have lots of other hobbies too. So.
Exactly, yeah. And this is a great gift idea, especially for those people who might be having a baby or someone, you know, that life moment when they're going to start scrapbooking and they just don't know where to start. This is a really good book.
Yes.
So we have that, and then your style. You were back in the Simple Scrapbooking magazine days, and you are a very clean scrapbooker. I call clean, and we've actually called this show that we're doing with you, Keep It Simple with Wendy Smedley. And you've brought a fun project that you did, and I just think that this encompasses your style perfectly. So let's go through here. What do we have going on?
And you know, as I mentioned, understanding why you scrapbook is something that's important, and I love to do stories and snapshots of everyday life. My goal is not to do every single photo or every single event. So I love mini albums or personality projects, and so this is something that was so much fun because two of my sons went together with another friend to homecoming, and I got to take endless pictures because the girls were so lovely and they loved having their photos taken, and it was so much fun to just scrapbook using all of these bright, cheery colors. And you know, you can see that I really kept the focus on the bright, cheery photos and using the solid colors. And so, you know, you can make scrapbooking whatever it is that you want.
And I think that's important to say, Wendy. There isn't any rules to scrapbooking. How you do it is the right way. Yes. How you do it is the right way. So that's great. I'm glad that you brought that up. And I also want to point out, you know, just because you are a clean, simple scrapbooker, you don't stay away from techniques. You've got cute little techniques that you throw in here and there.
Yes, it's fun to have some, for sure, for sure.
Well, Wendy has brought 3 projects for us to do with you to kind of get this Keep It Simple, you know, point across to everyone. So let's get started, and you show us what you brought for us to do today.
And you know, I think these are some really great tips that can help you regardless of where you are in scrapbooking. You can be, you know, your style can be completely different than mine, but these are really good tips. And one thing is, once you find a design or a sketch that you like, reuse it. So this is one I use all the time. It's got a strip of photos, a title, very simple, you know, decoration and some journaling. Okay, so I'll show you a couple other variations. Now this is one that I've done in an 8.5 by 11 version, and I do all different sizes depending on the project. So just don't limit yourself. This is one of my favorite layouts ever. I just love it.
And it looks just like you. It's that very, you know, that very clean to the point. You're focused on the pictures, you're focused on the story.
Yes. And you can see it's the same. There's the 3 photos, the title, the journaling, and there's a little treatment down there. And here's again the, you know, same exact design. And here's one. So if you find one you like, you know, this one is moved down lower, and instead of 3 photos, there's a little piece of pattern paper. You know, so you can totally change it to fit your needs. And here's another one that has 3 photos, but this photo wasn't big enough, and so I just put my journaling there. And then you can do things like change the orientation, such as this one, then the photos go vertical. And, you know, when you look back at all those layouts, you're not necessarily bored by the design. You might recognize something that's familiar. And, you know, I want to also throw in some good organization tips for you, because I think that's key to feeling successful when scrapbooking. And I oftentimes will use my handwriting when I do journaling, and I found that, you know, it was more of an afterthought. That might happen to you, you know? I know. And so why don't you pull that basket over?
This is really intriguing me. I mean, this is just a fun little...
Okay, so the idea behind this is everything that I need for handwriting, for journaling, is in here. And so all I need to do, instead of digging for cute little journaling cards or my little journaling notebook or my favorite pens, it's all in this little basket. And so I have pencils, I have, you know, my ruler if I need to draw lines, and I have just a handful of favorite journaling pens. And then, you know, there's fun little mini notebooks that have journaling papers in them, and you can just put them all right in this basket.
Well, and this is so nice because this is very portable. I mean, you could take this outside and sit on the back porch and do it. I mean, it's, you know, it's very, I like that a lot, that it's, you know, travel even.
Totally. And so think of other activities that you do in your crafting or scrapbooking that you can put all the elements together. You know, so that's the idea behind this organization tip, is you can put everything needed for an activity all together.
Nice. Yeah. Like that a lot. Great tip. Great tip.
Okay. So our next one is, the idea is to really, this might scare some of you, but I promise.
Don't be scared.
And I'm going to use the word limit. Ooh, scary.
That is starting to make me sweat.
I know, whoa, whoa. But limit your choices. In fact, there was this really cute scrapbooker who used to do stuff for the magazine, and her name's Beth. And she refused to buy pattern paper because she was way too overwhelmed with all of the choices. And everything in her scrapbooking or in paper life, it just overwhelmed her to no end. And so I was like, what? You mean you avoid buying something? And the idea is, if you go out and shop all the time and you never use that stuff, you get totally overwhelmed. So you use what you buy, and you can limit your choices. And here's an example of limiting the colors. Okay. And so this layout uses neutrals plus similar color pattern paper. And, you know, you really are focused on the photos, and the photos themselves are very colorful, so they can kind of take center stage.
Well, and, you know, I think that there is this misthought that the more you have, the more creative your page is going to be, and the more, you know, and I find that my creativity really comes out when I have the limits. I mean, that's when I think outside of the box.
And what if you just bought only stuff that you absolutely loved? Hello, what if you used what you brought in? And trust me, I have a lot of...
a whole extra room in your home.
Yes, you might. Okay, and something else is to, like I just said, use products that you love.
Yes.
And it's fun to play with things that you love. It's so much fun. And this is a very simple layout with just one photo. And, you know, maybe you want to use one photo, maybe you want to use more, whatever your goal is. And you can see just a very simple project here with the cute little punches and of paper and color. And then here's another one with one huge photo and the journaling that fits all around. And, you know, there's really no pattern paper except a little strip. And I do have a thing for alphabet products, I have to admit. Okay, so here's a layout that is colorful and fun, and this is my son Nathan. And I have, you'll find that there's a lot of products in the industry that you can customize. And like these little chipboard
which are adorable.
They were, you know, chipboard, and let me just move this out of the way. And, you know, you can buy everything that looks like this raw chipboard, but, you know, there's quite a few things you can do to it. So you can see that here's what I've done with the chipboard with just using an ink pad. And here's, you know, there's spray mists everywhere, and this is a metallic spray mist. And this is cute, adorable paint that has lots of applications. And then here's some distress stain. So just with a few products, you can really dress them up. And one of my favorite things is to use these different glossy adhesives. This is glossy accents, there's diamond glaze, there's all sorts of things that you can do. So, you know, you can see from just one set of product and a few coloring tools, different possibilities to create a custom look if that's what you're going for.
Yeah, and that is so fun. I mean, you've got all these different looks out of just a few products.
And it doesn't take up much space. And buy the colors you love and the brands you love. You know, and feel free to buy every single color if that's what you want to do. But by limiting, you're also giving yourself the freedom to get stuff finished because you don't have to dig to find everything.
It's not that overwhelming, I'm drowning in paper feeling.
And let me tell you one of my favorite tips that I learned from Abby, an organization tip, and she's the co-author. And you know, sometimes it seems really obvious when you buy products that have divided containers within them, but think of the drawers maybe in your space and contain within containers. And so here's an example of chipboard alphabets, and you know, I just showed you how fun it is to make, you know, do different things with them in color, but you can take these
them grouped in sizes.
Yes, and then like let's say, oh, I want to find these letters, and you know, you can dump them out, you can rifle in there, whatever. And this can sit on a shelf or a tray, and you know, let's just face it, a lot of the products that the packaging they come in are not necessarily friendly to reuse and restore. Not all of them are. So this is an organization tip. Contain within a container.
Contain within a container. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Very neat. Okay. Very neat.
We'll move on to our last one.
Let me move this over here.
And I have to say that when I first started scrapbooking, that one of the products that was available was clip art from Diane Hook, DJ Inkers. Some of you may remember this. And which basically you color copied, or no, you just photocopied onto construction paper.
Okay.
You know, so there were not very many products available, to say the least. And when companies started coming out with paper and stickers that matched, it was like, oh my gosh, that is the smartest thing ever. And I continue to be in love with coordinated products. So another way to keep things simple is to buy products that go together, that are, you know, from the same company, the same line. Here's a very simple layout that's pattern paper and punch outs from a company.
From one company,
It matches, it has the same feel, it has the same, you know, color intensity, easy peasy.
Well, and it's almost like, you know, they're your designer, your coordinator. They've already put it together. It already coordinates and matches. You may as well just take advantage of that.
Exactly, and that's one way to keep it simple, you know. And here's another one with cute coordinated product, and it has all sorts of bits and pieces, especially if you, you know, enjoy a certain line. It's fun to buy because you know you're going to use, right? Because you use what you love. It's fun to buy all the different pieces.
It is, yes.
And, you know, this was an organizational challenge for me. How do you store all of these things together? What if I have ribbon that goes with it? And what if I have buttons? You know, what do I put the stickers with the stickers? Do I keep the paper? You know, oh my gosh, I'm just, my head's spinning. How do I store and organize it? Well, it's really easy. I figured that for me, when I work with coordinated products, I would think of them as a manufacturer. And so it made sense for me to store them that way. And so
that's how
I
love these containers.
There's a couple different variations now. And the idea is that it's a stackable, closable, large enough, I think this is like 13 by 14, you know, plastic container, you know, plastic pizza box, whatever you want to call it. But you can put all of the different pieces in here.
I can see Wendy really liked these stickers. She's got a couple of the same sets here.
Oh yeah.
But it's basically all of this manufacturer's line in one container, not separated by papers, stickers.
Exactly.
Very nice. Exactly. Very nice.
And so the idea is with this is organizing how you think or how you work. And, you know, that will really help you feel successful when you're scrapbooking, because if you get things accomplished and you're happy and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that page, isn't that just so cute? Then that kind of feeds your excitement.
Yes.
And you need to set yourself up for success, not failure, don't you think?
Exactly. I totally agree. Wendy, great tips. I mean, this has been wonderful. You are the queen of keeping it simple, you know, and I love that. And yeah, just keep living your paper life and doing what you do, because we love these books, and all the stuff that you have coming out with us is fun. And everybody else out there, we will see you on our next show, and go make a beautiful mess of your paper life. Bye.